Parts of the following video would not have been possible without the article written by Dellen Miller, published back on August 5th, 2018. For 25 epic things they cut from Skyrim but fans found anyways, please check the link in the description box down below. Do not attempt to adjust your set. This is a Streaming Freedom video bulletin. It cannot be stopped, and it is the only free voice left on the net. Hello friends, and welcome back to the channel. For today's Skyrim mod showcase on the PlayStation 4, I have for you a mod that restores content that was once cut by Bethesda back into the game for you to be able to explore. The content is in various stages of development and can be something as simple as a bridge that was removed to something as epic as a fighting arena. It should be noted that the content that is shown in this video may differ from what is available with other versions on other platforms, as no external assets are allowed on PlayStation. Also, please note that while I will try to be as accurate as is possible for me to be in this video, a lot of this will be simply conjecture on my part. Some of the information contained in the video is all the credit of Dellen Miller, who originally published an article back in 2018 on it. However, there will be other times that I am simply speculating as to the things that I am seeing, what it might have been. So please do not take everything in this video to be 100% factual, because it will not be. So the name of this mod is Skyrim Restored. It is by the Mod Author Salvadorc17, and this is version 20 of the mod. The description in part reads, "This mod restores cut content from the original game and some unused. Most important is the standalone version with no DLC or patches needed. It's PS4 exclusive because it's not needed for other versions. The mod is a work in progress and will only be able to restore some content that does not require custom scripts or texture files. Activate after all DLC to avoid conflicts." And it gives a list of the restored content. We'll be taking a look at some of it. Some of the restored areas is what we will be seeing in the video, as you can see here, like the Windhelm Pit Arena, which does show that is a work in progress. And as we go on here, you can also see we have the Chill, which is a Winterhold ancient prison. We'll be taking a look at that as well. And the Wayward Pass Ghost. We also have a list of NPCs that restored, that were cut from the game, including some that can be found again at the Windhelm Pit. We also have unused enemies, like insane wizards we'll be taking a look at, as well as the Winterhold College Guards. The mod also restores numerous weapons, spell tomes, and scrolls that were cut from the game that you can see here as I scroll down through the list. However, we will not be taking a look at them in this video. Finally, there are supposed to be some quest dialogues that were added back in, but in my testing this isn't always been the case. The Cut College of Winterhold mission is still the same as what is left in the finished version of the game. No new dialogue that I could find has been added. Okay, so the first place that we're going to take a look at is the Cut Fighting Pit Arena, which can be found by traveling to the Palace of the Kings in Windhelm. So, the Cut Arena is actually very close by. The Palace of the Kings, of course, is right there, and if you turn over here to the right, you will notice that there is a new door that has been added here, as well as a couple of NPCs. These are two of the unique NPCs that have been cut and are added back in. The mod description mentioned. What is best is not only have these NPCs been restored into the game, but their unique dialogues have also been restored. Let's take a listen.
Hello, hello, hello! Interested in fighting in the pit? The rules are strict, but if I don't see it, it didn't happen. Know what I mean? It's very important to Hookie that all the battles are fair. What's more important to me is that my pay is fair. Prove your valor in the pit. If you haven't got any valor, prove your pocketbook.
As you can see, the Cut NPC Bentham has several lines of dialogue that you can trigger referring to the pit that have been added back into the game. Also, this pit fighter over here, Brand, also has several lines of dialogue.
I've been a lot of things in my life. Pit fighter's the one I'm best at. Until next time. We should get a dragon for the pit. I'd love to fight one. I've been fighting in the pit for years. That should tell you something.
I think it's really great that not only these
All right,
NPCs were added back, but their unique lines of dialogue was able to be saved and added back into the game as well. Let's go ahead and take a look at the pit itself, which you can access using the door that
Got
is
something to
located
say?
here behind Bentham. You'll notice that the pit is in an unfinished state. There are textures that are missing. According to the research that I did, it would have originally been intended that East March criminals would have been sent here, where they would have had to have fought one another in the fighting arena located down below, all while the crowd, which has been added back to, simply titled Pit Fan, would have cheered them on.
Speak quickly.
Yes?
I found none of the NPCs here to have any unique dialogue, but that simply might be because you were never intended to be up here. This NPC does have a little bit more to say, but again, I don't know if it's unique.
What I lack in strength, I make up for with tenacity. Speak quickly.
Even though they don't have
Alright
any
then.
unique dialogue, it's still great to see they got added back into the game. I have tested this mod before and I'm a little bit familiar with it, which is how I also know that I am not able to, under normal circumstances, actually access the pit itself. There's an invisible wall. Everywhere I go, I can't actually get into it. I can't even jump over the wall. However, I do have a way to get around this. I'm going to use my teleport spell. This worked last time,
Hope you know
so
what you're doing with
hopefully
those
it'll work
flames.
again, as I haven't had this
It would
mod
be quite
active
shame
for a
if
while.
something caught fire.
I just need the reticule to
Watch
turn
it.
white. There we go. Okay, and this is what it would have looked like in the pit. I didn't remember that. Apparently very easy to climb out of here. It looked a lot higher up from the other side. If you do happen to find yourself down here some way, don't worry, you're not stuck. You can use this door to get out. However, that door will not let you back in, as I have tested that. Here we see some cages that might have contained fellow prisoners, or they're fairly big, so I'm kind of wondering if maybe you would have fought animals here at some point too, like bears or something. I don't know, I didn't find anything about that in the research. I'm thinking this might have been your cell. But either way, it's really cool to see all of this and wonder, you know, what could have been. Some, but not all, of the areas added back in by this mod will show on your map as a dark icon that you do need to discover. While I don't have time to go to all of them, I'll go ahead and pick a few at random, as well as a few of the ones that I remember were fairly interesting to explore. Should be able to find this one if you head here to Markrath. Everything on your map should show as a dark icon that was added back in. For me, however, some of them are remaining as a white icon that I can already fast travel to from the last time I had this mod installed. That is something to keep in mind if you're only planning a visit to this mod. Okay, so here we are at one of the areas added back in, and looks like there's something going on down there. Alright, so we have a wisp mother, and looks like a dwarven spider. Okay, make that just a dwarven spider. I guess I'll have to take care of that before we can go ahead and take a look at this. Don't know if they're a part of this or just happen to be here, but there we go. Okay, so one thing you do need to know about this mod and why I chose this particular area is some of the things that is added back in is really just kind of mundane things. Again, these are things that... Okay. These were things that have been cut. Hard to say when, you know, various stages of development, they were never finished, this being one such thing. I don't know if at some point maybe this would have been like an access to an underground area to explore or what, but this is, for whatever its original purpose was, all that remains of this area. One of the areas that I mentioned that stayed in my saved game file even after disabling the mod that I can still fast travel to is located here, and it's called Peglio Tower. Should be able to find it if you come up here to Solitude and travel down. This is a very cool tower that I do enjoy exploring. So once you arrive at Peglio Tower, you'll notice from the outside that it doesn't look any different than any of the other towers that we have in game. Kind of place that you'd usually find a bandit at. However, it's once you decide to step inside that you'll find there's something very spooky that is roaming these halls. so it's not too dark in here, but I'm gonna go ahead and cast a candlelight spell just to make certain that everybody is able to see alright, since it is a little bit darker. Get my magic ready, because as we decide to progress further into the tower, we are going to meet something.
You are not welcome here. No!
So yeah, this is a haunted tower. The ghosts here don't have anything that you wouldn't normally find. Cool, ectoplasm. That you wouldn't normally find on a ghost, but as far as I can recall, there isn't any other towers like this in vanilla Skyrim. There might be ones with mods, but I mean from the official version of the game before it was modded. And it's really, I really wish they would have kept this in the game. I really like the idea of a haunted tower, and I would have loved to have known what the story would have been here and exactly what we would have been doing. Well, that ghost didn't turn hostile until I tried to talk to her. I noticed that I can do that with some of the ghosts. They will turn hostile once you try to engage them in a conversation. Others will attack you on sight. I don't know if their AI is programmed to do that on purpose or if it's simply unfinished. And speaking of being unfinished, just like the other content in this game, this tower is as well, but it does have several rooms to be able to explore.
Death comes for you now.
Where's that coming from? Ah. I'm really starting to think I should have brought my Pokemon pack in here. There's a lot more ghosts than I remember. That is one thing to keep in mind when you inject this mod in. These ghosts will appear here the initial time that you come in to explore it, but as I recall, once you've defeated them, they will not show up again. So if you do want to encounter them again, you'll need to disable, save, and then re-enable the mod to re-inject them in. Okay, let's see what's up this way. I don't think, yeah, I think this is as far as you can go if I recall correctly. It's been a while since I last, yeah, it's been a while since I last explored this mod. It ends right here. Now, unless I'm recalling incorrectly, I could have swore last time that there were voices coming from there, but I didn't hear anything. Could have been that I missed it though I was talking. I'll have to check it back when I'm editing this. Also, for those of you that might be wondering, the ghost by the bar over here, this room actually just ends in a dead end. That's why I didn't go this way. There's a few items here that you can take, but that is the tower in its entirety, at least as far as I can tell. This tower isn't the only thing that had ghost added back into it though by this mod. There is another area that we're going to be taking a look at next, which is Wayward Pass. Hey, Maig, cool.
Don't try blocking if you have...
What's wrong with him, I wonder? Oh, I bet I know. So if you come up here to Wayward Pass, which is located right here, you might spot something that I think our feline friend just spotted. Let's see. Yep. So this was also added back in by the mod, the Spirit of the Ancient Traveler. Seriously, just gonna pass me up and go for Lydia? Oh, no, that didn't take much. Might not be as easy for you, I don't know. I'm fairly overpowered at this point. But he came from up this way, and this is actually something that you can see in vanilla Skyrim, and also, that, according to my research, would have been part of it. So, according to the research that I've done on this, that Bethesda originally included the Spirit of the Ancient Traveler as an enemy, which I'm guessing was obviously the Headless Horseman, Lydia. And I'm guessing they repurposed him as an Easter egg, but originally he would have been an enemy, and would have been, you would have had to defeat him to get, I guess, something from here. So I figured after a long day of busting ghosts, what better way to relax than to hop into Ecto 1 with Lydia and head to here, the Jacuzzi Pools, another area I wish they'd have kept in the game. It's located on the lower right hand side of the map. I'm going to go ahead and place a marker here because you do need to discover it, but you can easily do that from here, Darkwater Crossing. Oh, brother. So I spawned here in Darkwater Crossing, and I saw this. Just another day in Skyrim. I don't know why they do that. It happens all the time. In any case, you can turn around and leave Darkwater Crossing, and you will find that the Jacuzzi Pools is not too far off this way. Now, I'm not certain if this still exists in any capacity in the final version of the game. I'd have to come back up here with the mod disabled and take a look, but as you can see, as soon as we get up here, got this very green. Guess it's full of algae, I don't know. But you have this kind of like hot spring area called Jacuzzi Pools. You can find there are a few NPCs up here that are relaxing and enjoying the warm water, like this hunter. In fact, I think they're probably all hunters kind of up here, I guess maybe camping or something.
Yes.
Okay, yeah, that's what they're doing. In any case, though, this is a really nice area. I really like that view right there, and I wish they would have kept this in the game as well. It looks like it was finished, and so I don't know why this was cut. I don't know if these NPCs are cut content.
Morning.
I don't think they are, because she looks familiar. I've either seen her in a mod or just around. I think they're just the ones that kind of show up every now and then, the generic NPC. Let's see, is that all of them? I think so. Could swear there was more originally. Perhaps different times of the day, though, could also be, they might be in different areas. Also, if you come over here, there's a few items that you can get. I don't know if that book, I don't remember all the items in the game, so I don't know if that was added back or if that's just something that's always around. One thing that I think, and this is just me speculating, but anytime you see an NPC doing that in a mod, I think that was taken from here, this cut content, because that's the only time I've ever seen this in the vanilla version of the game, or what would have been before it got cut. Okay, so next I want to show you guys something that does not show up on the map, which you can find here in Solitude that got added back. So, once you get into Solitude, you want to head over this way, be near your player home. And this, I don't recall this being in the mod description, and it definitely doesn't show up on the map, so it was a nice find when I originally saw it. And it's...
Papa! You're home! Look what I found! Here, take it!
Oh, thank you. You girls be good now and stay away from abandoned houses that you're actually fairly close to, which you can find located right here. Now, you may not have a tree in front of yours. This could be from a different mod, but in any case, even if you do, it won't stop you from being able to get inside, which is located right here, the door. And you're going to find that this house isn't so abandoned after all. Alright, let me get... So yeah, as I was saying, this is not abandoned like it says from the outside. In here, you're going to find, oddly enough, a couple of vampire thralls. And there should be some vampires in here too, if I recall correctly. Which is very odd that this is actually... Yeah, that this is actually in the city. So yeah, a couple of thralls and a couple of vampires, and that one of these, where is he? One of those, I think it said was a Valkyr vampire. I haven't a clue what they are doing here. I tried to find information on this house, but you can search their items, and unfortunately there's something that I'm going to show here in a little bit. We will go back downstairs, I'll kind of take a little bit better look, but I couldn't find any information about what this originally was doing here, because there really ain't any vampires like in the towns, with the exception there is one at the Blue Palace. I can't think of her name, but you can tell she's clearly a vampire, but I don't know, you know, if this originally would have been for part of that. Let's go ahead and see what they got. But I couldn't find any information on this content whatsoever, so we can only speculate as to what it is, and it's definitely, like everything else, it is unfinished, of course, because it was cut. And that brings me to the fact that there is a door right here that I guess they were guarding. Let's see. Yeah. there is no key. I was looking just to make certain that I didn't get that wrong, but this door requires a key to open. Using this side, I can access the vanilla version, and you can see that it needs to be picked, so it needs a key. Now, I can get in using the Ring of Unlocking, but unfortunately, this is what happens when I do that. This was never completed, and so there is nothing beyond this door. So there's only just a small little room, and we only have to guess as to what exactly was going on here, or why this ultimately got cut. Okay, so next I'm going to take a look at a couple of the NPCs again that were added back in, as well as this area which is up here, the Chill, which is a prison. And I do need to state that this stayed in my save file even after I disabled the mod, so just be aware of that. Okay, so it is currently nighttime. I might have to advance time to the day, I don't know. But originally there was...
I'll sell just about anything if it's worth my time. Keep that in mind, will you?
Okay, I will. Originally there was some guards that would patrol, and actually I don't know why they were cut. Some of this stuff, it's really like, it seems finished, and why did they cut it? There were guards that would patrol the college grounds and stuff, which have been added back in, and I don't know if we'll be able to see them. I might have to advance time today. Well, there's somebody moving around over there. Can't tell who yet.
I heard the gourmet is hiding out somewhere in Skyrim. You know, fellow who wrote that cookbook.
Now, I noticed their dialogue seems to be just kind of the generic dialogue that we always...
Dumb as you look.
You know I am your archmage. You could show me a little bit of respect, asshole. In any case, I do believe their dialogue is just kind of the generic. They don't have any unique dialogue, but they are somebody that originally they were supposed to patrol the grounds, at least as far as I know. They were supposed to patrol the grounds, and I guess would kind of help with the dragon attacks that occasionally happen here. We're going to advance time and see if maybe we can get them to actually patrol. But yeah, like I was saying, with some of this stuff, you kind of do wonder why it was cut. Perhaps just maybe for performance or something, if they were having issue in an area.
I'm sure you've made
okay, so that's one of the teachers.
Your time here, Archmage.
Also, we'll be going over a little bit more that got added in, and you're just going to sit right back down, huh? Well, now I understand why you got cut. You don't do your job.
What are you looking at?
Let's go ahead and visit the Chill next. I'm just gonna teleport there. This is another one that I can instantly teleport to because it stayed in my save file. Okay, so what the hell? Oh, I forgot about them. Enough of them out here. What? What was that? Oh, it was a horker. Oh, uh-oh. Oh, I wouldn't do that if I would... Oh, you're gonna pay for that. I'll teach you to bite people in the ass. Well, anyway, as you can see here, the college is there, and this is the Chill, which was a prison. And inside this prison, we will see one of the cut enemy types. Right there. Insane college wizard that apparently bit off more than he could chew with what he just summoned. But yeah, in any case, I guess now we know where the ones from outside came from as well. But you come in here, indeed, the Chill was a prison. Apparently, you can pick these. I'm gonna go ahead and just unlock it with the ring, but yeah, you can pick them and get inside if you want, and they do have some current occupants. But apparently, the college at one point had one hell of a detention program, I guess. I don't know. I don't think I'd want to be sending my kids here. They pay tuition, and they wind up locked into this. Oh, and they even got a cage up there. So yeah, I don't know why this area was cut, but I'd say this paints the college in an even darker light. And for those of you that are familiar with the lore of the college, you will know that there are 3 students that are missing. A quest that has famously, unfortunately, been cut from the game, where the dialogue for them remains, and you can actually find their bodies in the world if you know where to look. However, this mod unfortunately does not allow you to complete the quest. What it does do, however, is, oddly enough, adds one of them back as they were while they were living, which we will be taking a look at now. So this area will not show on the map, but I'm going to show you where you need to go. So if you come here and you use Dawnstar here as a guide, head this way. It's roughly in right about this area that you will find one of the students. I'll bring the map up again when we actually see her. Now, in the vanilla version, while again the quest is cut, you can still find she is the one that she died of a combustion spell. And you can find the fire over here and stuff, I do believe, in vanilla, and her body. However, the mod added her back, very oddly, beside her body. But this is where you can find her, beachside combustion. It will be added to your map. Again, use Dawnstar as a guide and head in this direction. You could also use right here to find her. But yeah, as far as I know, none of the other 2 students did not have living NPCs that got added in. And in the vanilla version, as far as I can remember, you will find her body and the flame cloak that she used that unfortunately killed her. But oddly enough, the mod added in her living model, and let's go ahead and take a listen to her.
Good afternoon. Good day. Yes?
She doesn't really have any unique dialogue, but if you take a look at her, look at her eyes, she's definitely a unique NPC, so I don't, personally, my opinion is, I don't think that this is a case of the game mistakenly just adding an NPC in here with her name or anything like that. I believe that really is Yisra, and I can only speculate as to the reason why she's here. Perhaps originally, had the quest not been cut, maybe this particular student, when you would have been searching for her, maybe you'd have seen her off in the distance or something, casting that spell, and then as your vision's obscured, the model is deleted and replaced by the dead body that we see. Either way, it's always been a sad tale with these students, but also very eerie and yet at the same time fascinating to actually see one of the students who, had passed, to see what they looked like when they were living. And that brings us to what I guess would be an appropriate area to end off on when it comes to this content, which is the burial grounds. You can find that by traveling from Morthal. So burial grounds are located right here, and this is basically the same as you've seen in the game before. They didn't cut all of it, just this particular one, I guess, for whatever reason. But I did think this is kind of an appropriate place to kind of end this in the spirit of this content, as for whatever reason, obviously during various stages of development, Bethesda saw fit to bury these particular story elements, areas, characters, as well of course as things that we did not get to see, spells, weapons, things of that nature. But thankfully, the modders have unearthed some of this and allowed us to be able to experience it and kind of just consider what might have been, what Skyrim might have been had this content remained. So that brings us to the end of the video, and again I want to say how important the article that Dellen Miller had done on some of the content was. When I was doing my research, I wouldn't know some of the things that I knew to be able to kind of reference to at least make this video hopefully somewhat factual. Again, a lot of it is simply my speculation and conjecture.
It just feels right somehow, having this new life as an adventurer.
Actually,
what I was meant to do.
That's a good way to put it. If you'd like to have a new life as an adventurer, discovering the cut content in the game, there is so much more this mod has to offer than what was shown in the video. By all means, definitely give it a download and check it out. I'd like to thank you for taking the time to watch the video, and in closing also I wanted to say one other thing here. I just wanted to give a special shout out to Coleman Henderson. I wanted to say thank you. I know that I have a very actual small, loyal viewer base that tends to watch a lot of my content, and I just wanted to thank you for that, and that was the reason why I went ahead and created this video. I did intend to do it at some point, but as I knew and as I'm editing this together, it took quite a lot to get this put together. Hopefully you enjoyed it, but I just wanted to say thank you for watching the videos, and thank you for taking the time to comment as you often do. And that goes for everybody that does take the time to do that. You all know who you are. Thank you. Take care. This has been a Streaming Freedom Video Bulletin. Peace out.